What's going on, fight fans? It's your boy C-Dub with the Standing 8 Count Boxing. Man, we had a great night of boxing this past Saturday. I tell you, man, we had, count them, not one, not two, not three, not four, but five great fights, and two of them ended in some crazy knockouts. So let's jump right into it. Now, first up, we're going to focus on the women's middleweight division, where Clarissa the Quote Shields took on Savannah, the Silent Assassin Marshall. Now, this was a pretty interesting fight. And the reason why I say interesting is because we saw some great things out of Clarissa Shields. Now, normally, Clarissa Shields, she doesn't mind taking risks, but this time, I think she kind of had to figure out Savannah Marshall. Like I said in my last video, Savannah Marshall, she really has this herky jerky kind of style. She just kind of lobs her jab out there and follows it up with a nice overhand right. Well, when when she first came out, she was kind of cautious. She didn't really know how to take Savannah Marshall's her style. She was kind of taken aback by it. This is my opinion. Now, in the later rounds, or I say round six, Clarissa, she really found her rhythm. She really was able to manipulate the distance and control the distance between her and Savannah. And when she was able to get in on the inside past that jab, she had no problem opening up and letting her hands go and hitting Savannah Marshall with some really, really great shots. And ultimately, it was Clarissa Shields that ended up getting the nod, winning her the undisputed title, the women's undisputed middleweight champion of the world in the women's division. And actually, I want to kind of give a special shout out to Clarissa Shields. She's really done a great job putting women's boxing on the map. She's been an inspiration to not only women boxers, but on the sport of boxing as a whole. So I want to big up Clarissa, the GOAT, greatest woman of all time, Shields, for her victory and the impact that she is having on the sport of boxing. Now, that brings us to the co-main event of the Shields Marshall bout between Alicia, the Baumgardner, and Michaela Mayer. Now, Alicia Baumgardner, when she came out, the fight was pretty close. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. The fight was pretty close. Mayer was given just as good as she was getting. Both these girls, they stood in the middle of the ring and traded punches. However, Mayer had no problem in the first part of the fight keeping Baumgardner at bay with that jab. Now, she had trouble trying to find that overhand right. Michaela had trouble trying to find that overhand right to follow up behind that jab. But once she did, she really hit Baumgardner with some effective shots. Now, in the towards the middle rounds, you could tell that Alicia Baumgardner, she started to, kind of get her timing. She was able to close off some of the ring. She was able to close some of the distance that Mayer was being so effective. And then once she was able to close the distance, she was really opening up and letting her hands go. Now, her head movement was razor sharp because, like I said, once she got her rhythm, then Michaela Mayer just had a hell of a time trying to land anything, really. I mean, she was slipping jabs, she was counter punching, she kind of found a couple check hooks. I say more than a couple. Before it was all said and done, Michaela Mayer was a little worse for wear. She began to bleed a little bit over the eye. Before the end of the fight. But Alicia Baumgardner, she ended up getting the unanimous decision, making her the unified champion of the world. And so I want to congratulate Alicia Baumgardner on her victory. Now, the main event in the men's lightweight division was one that we've all been waiting for. And that was the second fight between Devin the Dream Haney and George Ferocious Kamnosos. Now, this fight was definitely one for the ages. You had Devin Haney, undisputed, undefeated, and he traveled all the way to Australia to put an exclamation point on that undisputed title. And honestly, this was even more one-sided of a fight than the first one. I mean, Devin Haney, he was able to land the jab. at will. He didn't throw the jab as much as he normally did. Well, at least as much as he did in the first fight between Kamnosos. But whenever he felt the need to do so, he had no problem landing that jab. He was just as slick as he ever was, in and out. He was able to beat Kamnosos to the punch, any punch, because I mean the reality of it is George Kamnosos, he just wasn't very active in this fight. He did a lot of switching, did a lot of moving in and out of the southpaw stance to the orthodox stance. But I mean, there was a couple times he moved, he adjusted for no reason. He never threw a single punch moving from southpaw to orthodox. So now he ate a few punches, but he never landed a few. So he never landed anything. By switching stances. So I really don't know what that was about. Maybe he just had problem timing Haney. I don't know, but yeah, the fight wasn't even close. Now there was I'm not sure which round it was, but there was an accidental headbutt that kind of opened up George Kamnosos and Devin Haney. So if you're squeamish around a little blood, man, this fight wasn't for you, because, man, let me tell you, he was everywhere. At one point, I mean, Devin Haney just kind of gave this look of disgust to George Kamnosos because he was just bleeding all over him. But at the end of the day, Devin Haney, he was able to walk away victorious with all of the belts, making him once again the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. So congratulations to Devin Haney on his victory. Now we're going to go to the fight between the one that nobody really saw coming. I mean, this was also the co-main event, but this was a co-main event for the Deontay Wilder-Robert Helenius matchup between Caleb Plant and Anthony Darrell. Now, I don't know if you guys been following in social media last week, but Anthony Darrell, he's been talking a lot of trash to Caleb Plant, saying that he's going to whoop his ass, and saying that no white boy is going to be able to beat him, and things of that nature. Well, Caleb Plant, he begged to differ. Caleb Plant, he looked sharper than ever. This was a completely different Caleb Plant than who we saw against Canelo Alvarez. I mean, he was slick with the head movements. His footwork was great. He was sharp with his jabs, following up with 2 and 3 punch combinations. He was just simply outworking, outboxing, and outclassing Anthony Darrell to the point where we finally got a ninth round knockout with a clean left hand from Caleb Plant. I mean, he just put Anthony Darrell right to sleep. So that, I mean, that that you couldn't ask for anything. You couldn't ask for much more than that. At least that's what I thought, right? And that's until the main event between Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and Robert the Nordic Nightmare Helenius. And this was probably one of the most spectacular knockouts that I've seen in Deontay Wilder's career. 2 minutes and 57 seconds into the first round, the Bronze Bomber, he landed his signature right hand right down the pipe, and just really connected clean with Robert Helenius and just put him out cold and with the first round knockout. And that's exactly what we needed to see from the Bronze Bomber. Like I said in my last video, in order for him to be still held in high regard and still be a part of the conversation when it comes to these bigger fights with the likes of Andy Ruiz or a Alexander Usyk or a Anthony Joshua, or even hopefully even a Tyson Fury, because right in the heavyweight division, eventually all roads will lead back to Tyson Fury. So now Deontay Wilder, he just really showed and proved why he deserves to be a part of the conversation. So like I said, guys, it was just a great night of fights this past Saturday. I don't know about you, but I commandeered the television for the whole day. All the football fans in the house, they were kind of upset with me, but that's okay, because as fight fans, we don't get it that good very often. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you drop a comment in the comment section. Hit the like button and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon for all future notifications. As always, it's your boy C-Dub with the Standing 8 Count Boxing. I want to thank y'all for rocking with me, and until next time, peace.